Here's one of our favorite clips from Neighborly Discourse with Billy and Steve.
Idea behind this is an and I know you're gonna have problems when I say this, but this is an intelligent woman, right? This is a person who's well learned. You know, what I'm trying to say she's been around, and yet she would say that it should be outlawed against the law that any school system outside of the public school system should be acceptable. And I'm telling you, when you hear about this stuff about the transgender, the parents' educational rights bill, and these kind of things, it's all geared towards this idea of the government owns our kids. So if the government owns our kids, guess who else they own? Us. I mean, listen, put to the side just for a second, the whole idea. I don't care where you stand on transgender, non-binary, sexual dysphoria. I don't care where you stand with that. Put that to the side for 1 second. Are you okay with the government saying they own you? Because really, that's what it boils down to. When it's all said and done, that's what it boils down to. They want total control of you. If there's even a part of you that does not accept that, if there's even a part of you that says, no, I'm my own person and I should get to do what I want to do, if there's even a part of you that feels that way, then bills like the parental rights bill and anything that's advocating this kind of position, getting rid of CRT, and just keep the list goes on and on and on and on. You should be on that side, whether you agree with it or not. Meaning that whether you agree that America's a racist country or not, whether you agree that you at 5 years old you should know your sexuality, whether you agree with that or not. The idea is, do you agree the government owns you? And the answer to that is no, then you need to be on this side, because all these different things, all these little encroachments in our lives is the government saying we own you. That's ridiculous, my friend. That's ridiculous.
Bro, I'm with you. I have people in my family who, they've 100%, you can stereotype, I'll live a little leeway, that they vote Democrat. But they are
your family at large? I thought it was
no. I'm giving a story.
Okay.
That you could assume 100% they vote Democrat, but they are more conservative than I could ever be. You know what I mean? But they've been conditioned to think one way about Republicans.
Right.
So they think one way about Republicans, but that's it. But every other aspect, there's no boys hugging boys. There's no boys playing with dolls. I joke. I find it funny, but I get where the style comes from. It's how you were raised. And it is what it is. Like, I hate that phrase, but you are the parent. You do what you want to do. You're not harming the kid. People need to be left alone with that. But there are people who they're so locked in on one thing that defines their political identity, and that's where people have to kind of break away from it.
One of the women that got interviewed, her first response was, "I hate Trump," and you went off. You're like, what does that have to do with anything?
That caught me off guard.
That has nothing to do with the question,
and I wasn't ready for it. And I was sitting here, I was like, "What?"
That cracked me up, man. But it's so true, though. Listen, it's so true. Like, come on, guys. Like, our world is falling apart, and you want to worry about one man, whether you like that guy or not.
Listen, man, the guy hasn't even been around for 2 years,
it's like, get out of here with that, man.
I did. At the end of that reaction, I gave her semi credit because she was, though I 100% disagree with her, she was doing her best to explain her thought. This is why I think this. Even I don't agree if parents are failing, and I was shot at her like, "Oh, well, your parents failed you. He asked you about X, you answer about Y.
Right.
You missed the boat completely." But when listening to her as it was going on, she was saying, "Well, I think the parents are doing a good job with this." She wasn't blaming other And again, I use the thing I always use about Trump. Why are you voting for Hillary? Because Trump sucks. No, that's not an answer to me.
Not good enough.
So she was giving reasons why, and I'm like, you know what, man, I really disagree with her. But the other one's like the two stupid girls on there. Oh, it's so negative. Shut up. She was she gave her reasons.
Right.
And I had my respect for that. But man, it bothered me so much. And I think it was the last episode we were talking to, or we're talking, or something I recently watched where I'm pretty sure it was you. We're talking about why can't the leave us alone stuff. Leave us alone. Stop shoving us down our throat. leave us be. And it was something in that conversation came up where, why can't they just put it out there, say what you have to say, let us make the decisions, stop throwing it down our throat. And I think that was the episode. Again, it could have been something else. But they can't have that because that's what AOC does and people hate her. That's what Bernie does and people don't like him. He says what he wants and he lets you make the decision. And even the Democrats reject it. So they have to lie to you. They have to, what's it, placate? I saw a word the other day. Damn it, I can't believe what it is. It begins with a P. But they have to do it because if you're left to make your own decision, you're going to tell them they're crazy and not vote for them. So they pandering, promising something and never delivering. They have to pander because Bernie Sanders is the perfect example. He tells you exactly what he wants to do and leaves it up to you to make the decision. And they tell him, no, you can't do that. They'll never let him run in the primary or get to the nomination because he'll be turned down. So they have to lie to everybody. So we'll never be given straight information from any of them, in my opinion.
This is very interesting.
But that's what happens.
It's funny that you bring this up because